Paula. Good morning.
Well, good morning, Chris. Thank you.
How are you doing, lady?
I'm doing well.
So let's introduce Paula to the Wake Up Tucson audience. Paula, give us the brief biography of Paula Tuliani. What have you been doing the last 10 to 30 years?
Or 50, okay. All right. Anyway, I've had several businesses that have succeeded in two major businesses. One, a design firm, which I grew to 42 people, the largest design firm in Scottsdale. But the business I was in the last was for over 20 years. It's La Dolce Vita. And it was a cookie company. And I never said I want to make cookies, I want to be a baker, but I believe God placed me there and it was very successful. I did sell it to a national company and I did quite well. It was, it had many, many struggles, but I always thought God delivered miracles. And I believe, today in what I'm doing, that perhaps there are miracles that God is going to grant us as a country.
And you were your biscotti was in quite a few Costco's. Is that maybe somewhere that a lot of our listeners might
Yes,
recognize your product?
Yes, we're nationally in all the districts in Costco, La Dolce Vita. And we not only made biscotti, of course, we had Godiva. Earlier years, we baked their chocolate truffle cakes, brownies, cupcakes. So we had very good companies. We had Barnes and Noble, we had BJ Foods. So, and also the last client I did get, which I took away from Nani's, was Starbucks. And once, and that was the crowning glory. So we're in Starbucks as well. We did. I've always strived to make a great product and great service. That was the main thing. In fact, we were written up in the newsletter at Starbucks, as they have thousands of vendors, that we were the top vendor they had chosen, and we were the benchmark of what every company should be. And I always believed in doing your best, and you become the best. So I did create a good business, and I believe God led me to it because I always thought, oh, I'll do cookies on the side and I'll hand it off. I'll have a company make them for me and I'll keep the brand. Well, it didn't work out that way. We had full production, 120 people. And I learned a lot. I mean, I feel that anyone that goes into business, you're self-educating. You learn what you have to succeed. You can't hand it off. You learn the financials, you learn production, systemizing, management. You develop organizational skills because that's what's required. You think about it. We started off making 250 pounds when I was small. I thought, gee, that's a lot. We make 50. Right. We make 55,000 pounds when I sold the company a day. 55,000 pounds we produce a day. So I look and I said, how did I get here? And I said, God brought me here. And I have a little story. When I first started, I had to work at a bakery, and there was this friend, this Italian baker, and he was very good. Except he would say, Paula, why are you using butter all the time? Reduce your costs. Look, people won't recognize you have margarine. And we'd always argue. We'd always argue about it. I said, Vince, stop. I said, I'm using butter. And I said, you make the cookies and you're using margarine. And he goes, Paula, you really... There's an Italian word I can't say on the air. You're breaking my, what. So I said, okay, Vince. So then I went off on my own. And the year I was selling my company, came to visit my facility in Glendale. We're about 60,000 square feet. Very automated, okay? And we're doing 1,000 pounds per 15 minutes, okay? And he goes, oh my God, how did you get here, Paula? And I said, butter.
Good comeback.
See, it's always quality in whatever you do. And I learned that very, very young, okay? And you always give the customer, the people, a little more than what they expected, or sometimes a lot more than what I expected. And that's a success of a business. And I think that should be a success of our government. Give us more than what we expected. And Trump did that. He never talked about the deal. He just, we knew when he did the deal. And I feel...
What did you learn about the relationship between government and the private sector as you were building your businesses?
I think they're removed from a private sector. I mean, is your questions like what is their attitude towards private sector?
Well, I guess my thing is when you as you're building your businesses, what were some of the things that you had to navigate around governmentally that in the end you looked at and said this is really unnecessary for an entrepreneur to have to deal with?
Yes, I mean, you're on your own, really, and the only time you connect is when you pay your taxes, all right? So that's it. Um, and we look at America today, and we have to recognize what's happening, all right? We have to recognize they're taking control, and they are going to take more control of businesses and everything. And, as Americans, what I'm witnessing is the beginning of tyranny. I believe that our our governors need to stand strong and fight to protect our people and our Constitution. And you look at it, if you look at history, what does tyranny look like? Well, first of all, they turn people against each other. Well, first of all, there's gifts. There's kindness. We're going to take care of you. And perhaps we're getting that now. We're getting gifts. I never got gifts when I ran my business. I never got loans. Well, they turn people against each other. Then comes censorship. They censor the voice of the people. They censor our opinions and thoughts, which eventually will become the new normal. And then they feel. What?
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Why run for governor
Well,
now? After all your successes, why does Paula want to run for governor?
Well, I think because of this, because of what is happening in America, what's happening to our state today. We have lost control. We put people in power, in leadership, but it's not true leadership. Leadership is hearing the voice of the people, protecting them. We protect our state. We have to make our state stronger. And we're going backwards. And we're not learning anything from the past. You look at our education system. We need to revamp the entire system, okay? We are above Puerto Rico. We're 49. And
Paul, let's do this. I got to go to break and visit some sponsors. I want to continue this about education and some of the other priorities. Okay?
Very good.
What's your website, Paula?
It's Z for Arizona. ZFOR Arizona.com.
All right, so that's letter Z, Zeta. Z for Arizona.com.
Correct.
Awesome. All right, hold on for a few minutes. We're talking with Paula Tuliani, Z for Arizona.com, and we're going to find out more about her run for governor. Wake up, Tucson. You're on The Voice. All right, good morning. This is, of course, the Zaps on an L, one of the bigger ones on an L Wednesday. Here on the Wake Up Tucson show, we're hanging out with Paula Tuliani. Go to Z4Arizona.com to find out more about her run for governor. Paula, welcome back.
Thank you.
Tell me about education. What would Paula, give me one thing Paula would do to make education better, public education for the K through 12s out there?
Well, it's kind of difficult, just one. But the first thing I would do.
Well, I don't want you to reveal the whole plan.
Okay. No, I won't reveal. But there was several. I think number one, we have 42% population Hispanic and underprivileged. Mandatory tutoring. That teacher from preschool to second grade, they have to tutor to make sure that English is their main language. They have an understanding of English, forming sentences, able to read, and math. Because we have kids that are graduating grammar school, going to high school, and in the poor districts or the Hispanic districts, we have 80% failure. They don't have the ability to read and write properly. So that's mandatory, and that would change our society. That's the only thing that'll change our country as well. And we have to be more dedicated to our education.
How would you rate the performance of Doug Ducey so far as the governor of Arizona?
Well, I think he's doing some things now. I don't think he energizes the people, the country, or the state. I believe he touches things and he's removed. There doesn't seem to be a serious interest of developing solutions. For example, I asked one of the sheriffs, I won't name him, I said, do you meet once a year, 6 months with Ducey. We've never met him. We've never sat down and had a conversation. And that's rather strange to me. I mean, wouldn't you call in all your sheriffs and say, you know, what is it that you need? What's happening? What can we do better? That conversation doesn't happen. It does not happen in other areas of our state, or, you know, whether it's education. No, it just, things run as usual. Let other people handle it. No, there needs to be leadership. There needs to be an involvement. You know, you take a business. You don't say, oh, let my manager on one of the lines do what he wants. You know, no. You have to hear their voice, and that's leadership. You don't dominate them, but you say, what is it that we can do better? And I think it empowers them. It empowers them to do better. There's got to be a scorecard in education for the principals and the teachers. And give them more money. Give them what they need in classes. And there's absolutely no reason today we don't have smart classes to help the teachers. And reduce the class sizes. And that I believe is a beginning. All right? And we don't...
What's another topic, what's another part of running the state of Arizona that you'd like to tackle and improve if you became the governor of Arizona?
Well, first thing, you always look at the money. And you always look at, where is the money going? What budgets do we have for every segment? For example, I believe, and I understand from a previous treasurer, I said, what fraud is there? Is there fraud? Absolutely. And tell me about the budget of education, for example. That's just one. Well, 50% goes to the classroom. The rest is administrative costs, and others. Well, you know what? It should be greater for the classes, the teachers. Some teachers in the poorer areas, the kids don't have notebooks. They don't have pencils. They're not given proper curriculum. They buy the cheapest curriculum or free curriculum. And here we have the money that's allocated for that. No, we get the best curriculum, and it should be selected by a committee, by the state, and that's how Florida does it. They have selected the curriculums, and they may differ a little bit from Buckeye to Goodyear, or from Gilbert or Scottsdale, depending on, you know, the type of children you have. Do they speak Spanish? They may need a different type of curriculum, but really it's pre-selected, and that's what they choose from. Here we have a free-for-all. Every district changes every year, I hear from the teacher, and they are given another curriculum, and they have to rework this curriculum because it's not a good one. You know, there's no organization on this. There's no follow-through. There's no supervision.
The way Arizona is set up, of course, is that you have local control by the school boards.
Exactly.
And that's kind of the no-win situation that you're in sometimes from the state side. Is there's only so many handcuffs you can put on the money. Goldwater just did we already covered it, a huge report about how much money, when it gets to the school boards, that they actually don't spend on what they should. So
yes,
this is going to be a constant struggle.
Well, I think number one is governor, initiate a program, get a committee also of talented parents. And I don't talk about a big committee. I always talk about talented people, 3 to 5 max. And we work bottom up, and you work with the teachers. What is it that you need? Okay, teachers are not included in principal meetings, board of directors, administrators. They're isolated. Their voice is not heard. Okay, they're just told what to do. And you know, who's going to care? They don't. When you have a failure rate of over 50% in your class and you pass them, no child left behind. No, we're leaving our society behind. And we got to do something about it. And you start bottom up. You demand tutoring. And as governor, I would say, this is what you're going to put in. And little by little, we work our way up. Okay? And you evaluate. You evaluate where the money is. You have to work across the aisle. Right now, our education system is run basically by the left.
Paula, we got to get going.
Okay.
But thanks for the time today and the chance to introduce you to the Wake Up Tucson audience. Hopefully we'll get you down here in person, because it's always better in studio. So hopefully we'll get you down soon, and we'll have a deeper dive in this, okay?
Yes. And thank you. I appreciate you having me on.
I'm glad you were here. So the letter Z for Arizona.com And you can also, there's a button there to help get her on the ballot also, so you can do that too. So,
Yeah.
Paula, great talking to you as always.
Yeah, remember, I want to leave you with this. We need to stand for the flag. We kneel for God. Okay? We need to honor our flag and our country. All right. Have a good day.
Amen, sister.
Yes?
You too.
Okay.
Have a great day.
Bye, brother.
All right.
Bye.
That's Paula Tuliani, Z4Arizona.com. Very successful businesswoman, and she's wants to run for governor. So she's going through the journey, as we like to say. So getting exciting every day over there. Wake up, Tucson, 10:30 The Voice.